Hey everyone, in this video, I'm going to be walking through how you can redirect users to a newly created record page using a Salesforce screen flow. And the use case we're going to tackle today is I want to add a screen element to the top right of my account page that allows me to create an opportunity. And then I want to automatically launch users into that newly created opportunity record page. So to do this, we're going to start by jumping into our flow builder by clicking the gear icon and then setup. And then in our quick find here, we're going to search for flows. And then we're going to click on New Flow. And this is going to be a screen automation. So we'll click Screen Automations and then Screen Flow. And then before we build anything on our flow path here, let's create the record ID to store that account ID based on the page that the users are currently looking at. So we'll click New Resource, and then our resource type is going to be a variable. Our API name is just going to be record ID. And then our data type will be text. And we need to make sure that this is available for input. And then we'll click Done. And then we're going to create our screen element, and we'll go ahead and label this element. We'll call this opportunity information. And then I'll hit tab to populate that API name. And then we need to grab a text field for the opportunity name. We need to grab a amount field or a currency field for the opportunity amount. And then we need to add a date field for our opportunity close date. So typically when you're creating an opportunity, if you're in a brand new Salesforce org, what's required is just going to be that opportunity name, close date, and the stage. The stage will just populate in the create element here in a second. Currency is not required out of the box with Salesforce. Some people may require it, but these are the three fields that we're going to start with for this screen. So for our text field here, let's relabel this to opportunity name, and then we're going to make that required. For our currency field, let's relabel this to amount, and then we'll make that required. And for our date field, we're going to relabel this to close date. And then we're going to make that required as well. And then we're going to click done and move on to our create element. So we'll search for create records, and this is going to be create opportunity. And then we're going to define this manually and search for the opportunity object. And so our close date is going to come from this opportunity information screen, the close date. The name is also going to come from that screen, the opportunity name. And then the stage, we're going to default to prospecting right now. And then to get our currency field from that screen, we're going to add the amount field here and then grab it right from this screen. And then we also need to get the account on this create element. So we're going to add one more field, the account ID. And for that, we're just going to pass our record ID, which is going to be populated as soon as this screen loads on the account page. Now let's go ahead and close this little window and close this one. And then we're going to add one last element here. So now we're looking for the open a page action. So we'll click here and we'll label this open opportunity. And then our page type is going to be a Salesforce record page. If you wanted to launch users into an external website, you could link them here. That's going to be for any link that's not within Salesforce itself. So we'll click Salesforce record page, and then the record ID is going to be the opportunity from create opportunity. If you click on that, and then the actual entire resource. And then the object name is going to be opportunity. And then view mode. This lets you dictate if when they launch into that opportunity, if they are just viewing it, or you can launch it in edit mode so that they can just start typing into those fields. Right now, we're going to leave it as view, but then I'll show you what it looks like if we were to put this in edit mode. And then where to open the page, we're going to leave this as new browser tab. You could put it as a new browser window, which just means it's going to pop out into a completely new window, or new Lightning console tab. This is for if you're navigating in an app that is a console app like the service console, which just means it's going to open it as a sub tab. But in this case, we do want to open it as a new browser tab. So I'm going to leave that as is. And then we're going to go ahead and save. And we'll call this the create opportunity screen flow. And then I can save here. And I'm going to go ahead and activate it. So now that this flow is active, I can jump back to the account page here. And I'm going to click the gear icon, edit page. And from my components here, I'm going to search for flow. And I'm just going to drag and drop this at the top right. And then I'm going to change the flow to the create opportunity flow. And then we do need to check this pass record ID into this variable. So since we defined a variable and made it available for input, we need to make sure we're passing that account ID into here. And so if I check that box, I can save this. And then I can come back to this page and I see my screen flow right here. So we're going to call this opportunity trays test op. We're going to set the amount as $2 and we're going to set the close date as today. And then if I click next, you'll see it launches me right into a new window and I am in view mode. So I can click on details and then I could click a pencil icon anywhere and start editing this opportunity. Now let's come back to our flow and change our view mode to edit. And then we'll save this as a new version and then activate this flow. And then if I jump back to my account page and give it a refresh, we're going to call this trays test op 2. We'll set our amount as $3 and we'll set our close date as tomorrow. And then if I click next, it's going to launch me into this opportunity edit page. So now it's already got this information pre-filled, but I'm able to start editing these other fields right from here. And that is it. So thanks, guys.